tell me, I mean, I knew what I experienced, but I was probably on the outside looking in. In your opinion, what was the politics of Bermuda like at that time?
Well, within the United Bermuda Party, when I got involved, it was a very active and vibrant caucus environment. Persons hear me criticize the current government today because you don't have a backbench. Everybody's trying to sing Kumbaya, and you can't understand why there's no internal dissenting voices. But within the United Bermuda Party, there was a very active dissenting voice internally, notwithstanding what persons looking on the outside. When you're on the outside looking into an organization, it's just like me looking back at the organization that you supported. I didn't understand that organization to the extent that you wouldn't have understood the organization that I represented. You would have formed your opinion of mine in some respects from your experience correctly, and in some respects respectfully, probably incorrectly.
Okay.
But politics is the game of
All right. When I say the politics of that time, I do not necessarily mean the internal politics, but what was the national landscape at that time?
Oh boy, the national landscape was very volatile. We had, I believe, in the 70s, we had riots. We certainly had industrial strife. I worked in the hotel industry, so I know all about a lot of the concern that we as workers had, because I was a waiter putting myself through college at the time. So I was in and out of Bermuda during the time that I got involved in the United Bermuda Party in the 70s. But it was in peaches and cream, if that's what you had. The country was going through quite a bit of turmoil at that particular time.
All right. How much, at the time, I remember the 77 riots, and I remember the 81 January strike, right? And recently we just had the passing of Sir David Gibbons, who was the premier at the time of the 77 riots. He had just taken over, not just, but recently taken over from Sir John Sharpe.
He took over for Sir John Sharpe probably around 77, because the election was 76.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He came in, and then they had the trial, subsequent hanging, and then the country erupted. Were you in Bermuda at that time?
No, I was in university at that time. In fact, I was in university during the 77 and during 80. There was strife in 80. In 1980, in 1981 there was
General
strike.
Yeah.
But I was in Florida, because I was watching it on television, because some of the golf professionals that I knew from Florida that were in Bermuda were phoning back to tell us what was happening in Florida, because they couldn't get out of their hotel. I think they were at the Princess or something like that.
So, without having, quote unquote, at the time, inside knowledge, do you feel that there's anything that the then government party, UBP, could have done differently that would have avoided their strikes and subsequent riots? The riots and then the strikes. Or do you feel that no matter what happened, no matter what choice they made, this was something inevitable that was going to come to Bermuda?
Okay. I'll throw in one caveat. At that particular time was my infancy getting involved in the United Bermuda Party, so I wasn't involved at it from the caucus level as I would have been after 1982, late 82, when I actually ran. But on reflection, I would say that, like anything, in hindsight's 2020, and I'm sure there could have been things that could have been done differently that could have alleviated the island, erupting. But in any situations like that takes place, a lot of time there isn't the respect that's given or the appreciation of what's actually taking place in the hearts and minds of those who are feeling aggrieved. And if you look at present day situation in Bermuda, which is first and foremost on my mind. I mean, I'm very concerned about similar types of eruptions taking place because people are living on edge. Government's not listening to them. It's top-down type leadership, and if that's the type of leadership that was permeating itself, then it could certainly lend itself to a government purely misreading the mood of the social mood of a country.